Welcome to the Scenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we are getting into something I think almost everyone experiences, that really frustrating feeling of brain fog.
Right.
That mental sluggishness. You can't quite focus. It feels like your brain is just stuck buffering.
Exactly. It's so common.
So we've done the research. We want to move past just being annoyed by it and figure out, okay, what is actually causing this cloudiness? And more importantly, what targeted things can you actually do to get back to feeling clear and focused?
Yeah, and it's crucial to start by saying brain fog itself, well, it isn't usually the root problem. Think of it more like your body's alert system.
Ah, okay.
It's a symptom. It's telling you something deeper isn't quite right. Usually it comes down to things like stress, maybe poor sleep, gaps in your diet, or even specific nutrient deficiencies.
So the goal here is to find the shortcut to clarity. Identify what's behind the fog, and find the tools, the evidence-backed ones, to clear it out. Okay, let's break this down then. We'll start with the absolute must-haves, the lifestyle triggers that, well, they stop your brain working at its best.
The foundations.
Right. Then we'll pivot and look at supplements. We'll focus hard on what the research actually shows works, and frankly, where we need to be a bit skeptical. So when we say brain fog, what we mean is that persistent feeling of mental fuzziness, right? Like the information is in there somewhere. But accessing it, processing it feels incredibly slow, like trying to do complex math while walking through thick mud.
That mud analogy is perfect, actually, because the four big causes we usually see, they really are like the sludge slowing down those neural pathways.
Okay.
These things directly mess with how efficiently your brain can communicate.
So what are they? Let's name them.
Okay, number one, chronic stress. If you're constantly under high stress, your body is flooded with cortisol.
Right, the stress hormone.
Exactly. And while cortisol is useful in short bursts, fight or flight, when it's chronically high, it's really disruptive. It actively impairs your prefrontal cortex.
The thinking part of the brain.
Yes, the part responsible for executive functions, memory, planning, high-level thought.
Wow. So it's not just feeling frantic, it's actually messing with the brain's hardware almost. Can you break down, what specific chemical messengers get hit?
It's more than just feeling rushed, absolutely. Sustained cortisol basically tells the brain to divert resources away from higher thinking and towards immediate survival. It impacts neurotransmitters, things like serotonin and dopamine, sure, but maybe more importantly, functionally, it hinders the brain's ability to form new connections. That's called synaptic plasticity.
Okay.
Basically, if your brain thinks there's a constant threat, it's not going to prioritize learning French or solving a complex work problem.
Makes sense. Survival first. What's number two?
Number two ties in closely. Lack of sleep. And this isn't just feeling a bit groggy. Sleep is when your brain does its deep cleaning.
Right, I've heard about this.
During deep sleep, your brain literally washes away metabolic waste products, things like amyloid proteins that build up while you're awake.
So if you skip that cleaning cycle.
That junk accumulates. And the result the next day is a slower, less efficient brain. You simply cannot be sharp without that repair time, period.
Okay, unavoidable. And number three, I suspect I know this one.
Probably poor diet. It sounds obvious, but let's think why a sugar crash feels like instant brain fog.
Yeah, why is that so immediate?
Because your brain is incredibly energy hungry. It uses about 20% of your body's total energy.
Wow.
If you fuel it with junk, simple sugars, highly processed foods, you get these wild swings in blood sugar, energy instability.
Right, the spike and crash.
But just as importantly, those refined foods push out nutrient-dense foods. So you're essentially starving the brain of the vitamins and minerals it needs as cofactors to even produce energy and neurotransmitters effectively.
So it's like running a high-performance engine on dirty fuel and missing key parts.
Exactly. It doesn't have the microfuel it needs to run smoothly.
Okay. And the fourth pillar.
This brings us to specific nutrient deficiencies. Even if your diet is pretty good overall, missing out on certain key players. B vitamins are a big one. Vitamin D, magnesium, that's strongly directly linked to mental fatigue and cognitive issues.
And you're saying sometimes just fixing that one specific deficiency can be the quickest route to relief.
Often, yes, because it's a direct bottleneck.
Okay, so the unavoidable truth here seems to be managing stress, getting enough sleep, eating well, That's the baseline. You have to do that work.
That's the engine tune-up, absolutely.
But then for those specific gaps, those deficiencies, that's where targeted supplements might actually help bridge that nutritional gap.
Yeah, and the desire for a quick fix is totally understandable. The supplement market is huge, and there are tons of products promising mental clarity.
Oh, yeah.
And the appeal is often that they feel more natural, targeting specific nutritional needs instead of, say, a pharmaceutical.
But here's the big but, right? The non-negotiable fine print. Supplements are meant to enhance a solid foundation. They don't replace it.
Exactly. That's the critical caveat.
Like if you're pulling all-nighters fueled by coffee and donuts, popping a lion's mane capsule isn't suddenly going to make you a productivity genius.
Precisely. They work best hand in hand with those lifestyle improvements. A pill simply cannot fix chronic self-inflicted biological stress.
Okay, but I wonder, if supplements mainly work by fixing a clinical deficiency, why do so many people who seem healthy swear by things like high-dose omega-3s or a B complex? Is it just placebo effect, or is there something else going on?
That's a great question. And it gets into the difference in how these nutrients work. Some, like B12, have a massive impact if you are truly clinically deficient. The change can be dramatic.
Right.
But others, like omega-3 fatty acids, play more of a structural role in the brain. Even if you're not technically deficient by blood test standards, ensuring you have a high-quality supply helps maintain the health and fluidity of your brain cell membranes over the long term. So it supports subtle cognitive advantages, communication between neurons, and might offer protection against future decline. It's less about fixing an immediate hole and more about ongoing maintenance and optimization.
That's a really important distinction.
Yeah.
It's not just deficiency correction, it's also about structural support.
Exactly.
Which means choosing supplements wisely based on evidence and individual needs is absolutely key. You need to know what you're actually trying to achieve before you start taking things. Consulting a healthcare provider seems pretty important here. Okay, we've laid the groundwork. Now let's talk specifics. What are the tools in the nutritional toolkit that research consistently points to for brain health? Let's start with those essential fats.
We absolutely have to talk about omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. And let's go deeper than just, it reduces inflammation.
Okay.
The key insight is that DHA is a major structural component of your brain, particularly the cerebral cortex. It's literally part of the neuronal membrane.
Wow, okay. Part of the actual structure.
Yes. Think of omega-3s as the high-quality, flexible oil that keeps your brain's infrastructure, those cell walls, supple and allows neurons to communicate quickly and efficiently.
So if they're part of the structure, the benefits must be pretty wide-ranging. Memory, mood, focus.
Absolutely. They improve how neurons talk to each other, they support learning processes, and they're definitely crucial for mood regulation. Plus, yes, they are systemic anti-inflammatories, which is vital because we know chronic inflammation is a big driver of cognitive decline and that foggy feeling.
Right. So if someone's thinking about supplementing, what do they need to know practically? Like dosage, sourcing, any downsides?
Common dosages are usually somewhere between 1 and 3 grams per day of combined EPA and DHA, but you need to check the label for concentration, and quality sourcing is critical. Look for high-quality fish oil that's been third-party tested for purity checking for heavy metals, like mercury is important, or algae-based options if you're vegetarian or vegan.
And side effects?
Usually pretty mild. Some people get that fishy aftertaste or maybe some minor digestive upset. Usually manageable.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Next up, the energy vitamins, B vitamins. They get marketed a lot for energy, but what's their specific role in mental clarity?
B vitamins, especially B6, folate, which is B9, and B12, are absolutely crucial. They act as cofactors, like tiny helpers, in energy production within cells.
Okay.
And they're essential for processes like methylation, which helps create neurotransmitters, those chemical messengers we talked about. Think of them as the key workers on the factory floor, making sure everything runs smoothly.
So if you're low,
particularly in B12, which is quite common in older adults, people on restrictive diets like veganism or those with gut absorption issues, you seriously impair your brain's energy production. And that translates directly into that profound fatigue and brain fog, memory problems too.
And because they're water soluble, the body doesn't store them well, right? So you need a steady supply.
Correct. You can't really stock up. You need consistent intake, either from your diet or, if necessary, from supplements.
And for people who are actually deficient, maybe due to age or diet?
For them, supplementation can be incredibly effective. Sometimes the changes in energy and mental sharpness can be quite rapid and noticeable.
Okay. Moving on to the sunshine vitamin. Vitamin D. We hear about it for bone health all the time, but why is it so important for the brain?
Vitamin D is fascinating. It acts almost like a hormone, and it has receptors located all throughout the brain.
Really?
Yes, it's vital for things like neurogenesis, the creation of new neurons and protecting existing ones, and low levels are incredibly common, especially for those of us living further from the equator.
And deficiency is linked too.
Tightly linked to mood issues, including depression, which obviously impacts concentration and cognitive function. Low vitamin D is also associated with general fatigue and poor cognitive performance. It's really fundamental.
Okay, but dosing vitamin D can be tricky, can't it? It's not one size fits all.
Absolutely not. You should never guess your vitamin D dose.
Right.
The right amount varies hugely based on your current level, genetics, sun exposure, skin type, even where you live. The only way to know for sure is a simple blood test.
So talk to your doctor, get tested.
Exactly. Get tested and then work with a healthcare provider to figure out the precise, safe supplemental dose you need. Don't just grab a high dose off the shelf.
Got it. And finally, let's discuss the mineral that helps calm things down. Magnesium. If someone's feeling irritable, stressed, unfocused, could magnesium be the missing piece?
It very well could be. Magnesium is a real powerhouse. It's involved in over 300 different processes in the body.
Wow, okay.
Critically for brain fog, it plays a key role in regulating the stress response. It helps calm the nervous system, sometimes called nature's relaxant. It also facilitates better sleep quality.
And low level?
Low levels can definitely compromise nerve signaling. They're directly implicated in feelings of confusion, poor concentration, and irritability, partly because the nervous system becomes sort of hypersensitive without enough magnesium to keep it balanced.
Okay, so if I'm looking at magnesium supplements, does the form matter? Or can I just grab any cheap powder? I see lots of different types.
Oh, the form matters a lot, especially for brain health.
Ah.
You really want to look for forms with good bioavailability, meaning your body can actually absorb and use them well.
Like which ones?
Forms like magnesium glycinate are often recommended. It's generally gentle on the stomach and known for supporting relaxation and sleep. Another interesting one is magnesium l-threonate.
L-threonate.
Yes, there's specific research suggesting this form might be particularly good at crossing the blood-brain barrier, potentially offering more direct support for cognitive functions like memory.
Okay, good to know. And what about the cheap stuff?
Well, some cheaper forms, like magnesium oxide, have quite low absorption rates. You might end up with more of a laxative effect, diarrhea, than actual cognitive benefits. So quality and form definitely matter here, and don't overdo it.
All right, so we've covered those big four evidence-backed players. Now, let's touch briefly on a couple of other natural options, one traditional, one more emerging, both showing some promise.
Sure. Let's start with Ginkgo biloba. This one's been used for a very long time traditionally to help with memory and sharpness.
Right, the classic memory herb. What does modern research say?
Modern research tends to focus on its potential ability to improve blood flow, especially microcirculation in the brain.
Ah, so getting more oxygen and nutrients to the brain cells.
Exactly. And it also seems to have antioxidant properties, helping protect brain cells from oxidative stress, which is a form of damage.
The evidence is a bit mixed overall, isn't it? But some people, particularly maybe older adults, do find it helps with concentration.
That's generally the picture. It's not a slam dunk for everyone, but for some, especially where circulation might be a factor, it seems potentially beneficial.
Okay. And the emerging one, the mushroom.
Yes, lion's mane mushroom. This one is generating a lot of excitement right now.
Why is that?
Early studies, mostly in labs and animal models so far, suggest that compounds in lion's mane might stimulate the production of something called nerve growth factor, or NGF.
Nerve growth factor. Sounds important.
It is. NGF is critical for the survival, maintenance, protection, and even regeneration of neurons, our nerve cells.
Wait, regeneration. So it's not just supporting existing brain cells. It might actually encourage the growth or repair of neurons.
That's the exciting potential, yes, which is why it's promising for things like memory and focus.
But you said early studies. What's the necessary caution here for listeners?
The crucial caution is that the research, while promising, is still very much in its early stages. We need more robust human trials. And because it's often sold as a dietary supplement, the quality and purity can vary wildly. Regulatory oversight isn't the same as for pharmaceuticals. So if you do try it, it's really important to buy from reputable brands that do third-party testing for purity and potency. Okay, so let's circle back and really reinforce the most critical point here. Think of supplements as specialized tools, maybe like surgical instruments. They're not sledgehammers.
Right. Precision tools.
Exactly. They work best when they are used to correct specific identified nutritional deficiencies.
Okay.
If your brain fog is primarily a symptom of a massive lifestyle imbalance like relentless chronic stress, severe sleep deprivation, maybe a truly poor diet, no pill, no matter how well-researched or expensive, is going to magically fix that underlying system failure.
That really brings us to practical advice for listeners. If you are going to invest in supplements, quality is paramount, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Look for products tested by independent third-party organizations, like USP or NSF. That's your best bet for ensuring purity and potency, that what's claimed on the label is actually in the bottle.
Couldn't agree more.
And dosage matters too, right? People can get this wrong.
Definitely. Follow the recommended dosages on the product or from your healthcare provider. Taking too little might mean you don't see any benefit.
And too much.
Taking too much can range from wasting money to causing unpleasant side effects. We mentioned diarrhea from excess magnesium. High doses of omega-3s can potentially affect blood clotting, and supplements can sometimes interact with medications you're already taking.
So always check for interactions, especially if you're on other meds.
Yes, always. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist. Which leads us back to personalization. This is really the most effective approach. Don't just guess what you might need based on symptoms alone.
So maybe use a self-assessment tool, or even better.
Even better, talk to a healthcare provider. Simple blood tests can pinpoint specific deficiencies like low B12 or vitamin D. That way, you target the actual problem instead of just throwing supplements at the wall, hoping something sticks.
Saves time, saves money, likely more effective.
Exactly. And finally, remember consistency. These things rarely work overnight. You often need to take a supplement consistently for several weeks, maybe even a few months, to really gauge its effects and allow nutrient levels to stabilize. Hashtag outro.
Okay, so let's recap the big picture. Dealing with brain fog effectively seems to be a holistic process. It starts with addressing the fundamentals first.
Yeah.
Stress, sleep, diet. That's the real heavy lifting.
Foundation, non-negotiable.
Then you can strategically use high-quality supplements as tools to fill in specific identified nutrient gaps. Maybe B vitamins, maybe omega-3s, maybe vitamin D or magnesium.
You know, at the end of the day, brain fog often isn't some mysterious ailment. It's usually just your brain communicating a basic need.
A need for what?
Better fuel, quality rest, or maybe just fewer threat signals from chronic stress. It's asking for something fundamental.
Makes sense. So since getting that personalized assessment is so crucial for actually seeing results, here's a final thought for you, the listener, to consider. Is your persistent brain fog mainly signaling a major lifestyle imbalance, something like chronic stress or severe sleep debt that really requires a significant overhaul, something no pill alone can truly fix? Or could it be pointing towards a more precise, perhaps easily detectable nutritional deficiency like low vitamin D or insufficient B12, where a targeted high-quality supplement might actually provide noticeable relief relatively quickly? The real deep dive perhaps starts with figuring out which of those scenarios is truly yours.
Thanks for tuning in to the Scenario Podcast. Don't forget to visit scenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.